Massive commitment for Notre Dame in the 2026 class. Fighting Irish fans, you guys are going to love this one. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this YouTube video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold channel for more content. Go to blueandgold.com for analysis and interview with Finley that I did before he announced his commitment, with him talking about his pledge. You guys are going to love it. So let's talk about this news. Kaydon Finley, 6'1", 200 pounds, the nation's number 124 overall player, number 18 wide receiver, uh, highly ranked, coveted, Texas legacy, picking Notre Dame, highly productive, playing big-time ball in the state of Texas. This was Notre Dame's really top receiver target for a large part, pretty much the entire cycle, and Notre Dame got their man here, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, this is an awesome pickup. This is the one everyone's been talking about it for like 6 months on and on, right? Like back and forth. And then taking the Texas visit, the Notre Dame visit. You could talk about that almost like a semi-surprise visit to Notre Dame unofficially, it felt like.
Yeah.
I remember you guys talking about, so you could dive into that. But Mike, as a football player, he's about as blue as you get, when it comes to a blue chip wide receiver. So he's a, fantastic athlete, very good hands, fantastic route runner. You're going to probably hear me talk about him until he shows up as a Jaden Greathouse. I just think he's a lot like Jaden Greathouse. And I say that as in fundamentally sound, hell of a wide receiver, great state of Texas, which just throws the ball, explosive high school offenses, great high school football coaching. And I would be stunned if he doesn't show up and he's ready to play football as a freshman, just where he's coming from once again. So that's what's really exciting. Great body control over and over again, when he's in the air running the football. And then one thing I noticed again in rewatching his film, I feel like for like the 12th time, getting ready for him to commit in the last 3 months, it feels like, is dude's got amazing vision. Some wide receivers just catch it and run. He's always looking for extra yards, and you really notice that on the fly sweeps that he gets. So, and then his explosiveness out of the breaks when he's just running by some of these guys in this film. So even here on some of the crossing routes, he catches it, and when you start to watch it in slow-mo, which we do and we like to have fun doing, you start seeing his eyes and his head turning, and he's always looking for extra yards. So he's very, very competitive. That's what I take out of his film, but it's what happens if you got an NFL dad. You're going to go compete and have some fun. So it's a great pickup for Notre Dame, a heck of a wide receiver. Just to, this class, the last couple years, just keeps trying to just get better. It feels like their wide receiver room. So this is a great one for Coach Freeman and the whole entire recruiting staff.
Yeah. I think this is a future number one receiver for Notre Dame. I truly do. I'm super excited about this. In terms of like verified speed, Tom Lemming put out that he's a 10.7 100-meter kid. I haven't done a ton of research on that, but 10.7 would like at this kid's size, combined with how smart he is as a route runner, how cleanly he catches the football, that vision you talked about, the football smarts. His dad played in the league. Jermichael Finley, of course, played with the Packers and in Texas in college before that. I think this is a number one receiver for Notre Dame. Just simply a monster pickup. Someone who, I've said this for a while, Tim. Finley, I think, has wanted to go to Notre Dame forever. And I just think he wanted, his dad really wanted him to take his time with the I just said, I think. I talked to Finley about this. I gave him my opinion. I was like, Finley, hey, am I right? And he said, yeah, his dad really wanted him to go through the process. Like, he was fine with Notre Dame, but please, consider Texas. Let's take our time with this. And then you talked about that surprise June unofficial visit, Tim. That was his dad's first time on campus. I didn't know that. That was news to me. I would have figured his dad went to either the spring or January visits or something. But Kaydon told me that the June unofficial visit, which was a surprise and huge news, he just wanted to come up and hang out with the players. That was dad's first time. And from that moment, dad fell in love with Notre Dame, and then came up again for the official 10 days later. That went so well. Tim, that June 13th weekend where Notre Dame had 21 official visitors, huge for the Irish. Every recruit I've talked to, their favorite part was hanging out with each other. I talked to Joey O'Brien. He told me that he committed to Notre Dame in large part due to like the relationships he formed that weekend. Kaydon Finley's the same. Kari Adams is the same. Like it's there's just so much excitement. Like that weekend is going to go down as one of the biggest. Tim, I feel like we're going to be talking about that weekend years from now as an impactful one for Notre Dame. So huge recruiting win. I mean, you had Texas reporters vlogging pics for him to go to Texas a few weeks ago. Here he is on Notre Dame's commitment list, and he does not plan to keep his recruitment open, Tim. So I just gave a lot of thoughts out. Tim, respond to some of this.
No, I love it because it's funny you said that because behind me in those 1,000 blue and golds back there is I've actually started to go into some of the old Holtz years, which back then December is the new June, basically. That's when everyone did everything right after the season ended, the banquet weekend. And there's some of those the same thing. All of a sudden, 15 guys are on campus and 12 commit. You know, you get a bunch of parade All-Americans. So I was going to start doing that as a little homework project to where that recruiting visit is. But Mike, I remember going on Blue and Gold reading about that surprise visit because it felt like, you know this, it just felt like Texas had all the mojo, and for him to just show up unannounced, that was a surprise. Yeah. I remember as a big Notre Dame fan, like, oh my God, come on, this is a done deal. They're going to get him, and he's coming back for an official. This is huge for him, and like you're saying, his family to look at. Hey, this is Notre Dame, something new. Coach Freeman, all those things, and then just real quick, because I talk about Jaden Greathouse because he was so damn good coming out of high school. He played 6A football. Finley's 5A, upper elite echelon when it comes to Texas. And check out these stats just real quick, just to go to this. Greathouse had 1,260 yards, 20 touchdowns. Finley with 1,432 and 21 touchdowns.
Was that Greathouse's senior year or junior?
Just junior. I just did junior years. Okay. So I just did their junior years. And obviously, as we all know, he had, a guy named Cade Klubnik tossing him the football. And he averaged 19 yards a catch. Finley, 17.7. Rounded up, he got 18. So very comparable. And that's what I'm excited about, because I think Greathouse has been a hell of a football player. As we talked 18 months ago, if he doesn't hurt his hamstring, he's a freshman All-American that year. He was leading the team in receiving. So we all expect big things from him as a junior. And I think Finley is the same type of football player, competitive, really, really good with the ball in his hands, going to make things happen. That's a great pickup out of the state of Texas.
Tim, do you remember a couple months ago, me and you had one of those just like vintage Mike and Tim beginning of a Wednesday night show arguments, and one of them, it was like
O'Brien
or Finley, who's the bigger Notre Dame recruit? I said Finley because of the positional need. Tim went O'Brien because of just
the name,
how damn good he is as a recruit. Yeah, the buzz. He can do so much.
You got them both, Mike.
Notre Dame got both. They got Kari Adams. They got Ian Primer. They got Javian Osborne. They're getting everybody. That's what I've been saying. Like this, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. You cut me. I don't bleed blue and gold. Do I love Notre Dame? I do. But I am juiced right now about Notre Dame recruiting because of the results. It is just tremendous. This recruiting class, Tim, you tell me. Best sense, like this has got to be right there with the 2013 class, and the rankings might suggest that it's a better class. Maybe we'll check in at the end of the weekend, see where it ranks, and then again at the end of the month. But this might be rank higher than that 2013 class.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. When we always talk, just real quick, when you and I had our little disagreement on our live show, at the time Notre Dame was probably 0 for 2. And get
probably, maybe, or 1 for 2 at best. Yeah,
exactly at that time. So they were fighting uphill for both, let's say. But the 13 class, but once again, we still got like 8 recruiting updates to go as we fully expect some of these guys to really move up. So at the end of the day, it's up there. The class, the Charlie Weiss class of 08 was like 95% blue chip. It's something ridiculous with 8-9 guys played in the NFL. That was a great one. The Floyd and Rudolph and all those fellas. This one's probably going to rival that, I think, when it's all said and done. I fully expect this at the end of the cycle to outpoint and probably have more top 150, 100 type guys than the 13 class at the end of the day. And the 13 class was massive because you have Jalen Smith, who is, I think, the second or third ranked player in the entire country. So I'm expecting 26 to be on par with '08. The great '03 class, I think, had 9 guys go to the NFL. It was top 10-ish. This one will be ranked higher. And then obviously after that, you're diving into those Holtz classes back in the heyday. So it's a great one, Mike.
All right. I pulled this up. This is something that's very interesting. We're going to end with this. So that 2013 class, 87% blue chip ratio, but only 23 commits. Okay, yeah. Let's come back to that number. And then you go to 2008, 96% blue chip. So they had 1 3-star. This is by the On3 industry ranking, which is soon, I think, the Rivals industry ranking now. But anyways, 23 commits. Notre Dame right now has 20. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong. I just pulled up 2026, 22 commits, and they might add 5 more this month, potentially 6, but 5 more. So you're looking at more guys too. And if that blue chip ratio stays above 80%, Tim, which
huge,
I think it probably will.
I
mean, more recruits just means the more the merrier for this. It's like, yeah, you did that with lesser, now you're adding more and you're still staying above 80% blue chip ratio, and anything above like 50 is really good, Tim. I mean, like generally speaking, anything above 50 is like, that's a really good for like a Notre Dame. You should be shooting above like 65% or so. Talk above 80%, and blue chip ratio is just the percentage of 4 and 5 stars you have in your class. So 82% of Notre Dame's class ranks as a 4 or 5 star. And I think it's like half ranks as a top 150 player. This is very, very exciting. So
yeah, one more thing on that, Mike, as we wrap up is, we always talk about stacking classes. Obviously, the Jeremiah Love class, the juniors, Drake Bone, and all those guys. I mean, you start looking at the numbers, half that class may be in the NFL when it's all said and done. The 24 class, well, we saw all the freshmen that played last year.
Yeah.
So we know that's a really good class. Obviously, 25, we're expecting a handful of guys to jump right up into the 2 deep and get on the football field. So now the 26 is that 4th class. It's constantly stacking. Freeman and the scouting department have done an amazing job in the portal, picking and choosing just those little tiny spots to add depth and an elite player to help out a younger player behind them. So, you could say it. It's old cliche, but it's true. The sky's the limit for this program right now moving forward, and it's an exciting time to be a Notre Dame football fan.
Yeah, if you're a Notre Dame football fan and you're not fired up right now, check your pulse, and then hit the thumbs up on this video if you have not done so yet. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. Again, go to blueandgold.com. So much more on this commitment. So head over to the website, check it out, and as always, folks, we'll catch you next time.